Welcome back to Talk Mindanao. I am Ethel Constantino from the Appleview Hotel in Davao City. Joining us for today's discussion, we have the Area Manager for Western Mindanao, Act for Peace, Mr. James Ali Abdul. Thank you for joining us today, sir. And of course, we also have with us Carlos Cerezo, the Area Technical Assistant, South Central Mindanao, former relief and rehab specialist for UN Volunteers Philippines. Thank you so much for coming over. I need to travel like 12 hours from Zamboanga to Davao City just to make it to Talk Mindanao today. Welcome to Talk Mindanao. First, I would like to ask you, sir, can you tell us your experience before we will discuss on the early rehab concept?
Thank you very much, Setal, for this opportunity to share to the viewers on the Act for Peace contribution to relief and rehabilitation. In our experience, we provide the program is augmenting support to the IDPs affected by the armed conflict and even disasters by providing the basic services or components such as the food and non-food items to the evacuees. And then we also provide protection in terms of camp management, organizing, and some sort of shelter assistance, temporary camps for the IDPs.
Yeah, your area is in North Cotabato.
Yes.
Can you tell us your experience in North Cotabato, sir?
In the recent conflict in North Cotabato, the program provided relief assistance and goods to the IDPs because these communities are sometimes host communities to the IDPs coming from different provinces. And the program provided food and non-food items, medicines, latrines, and that is in close coordination with the government agencies and including international organizations and local NGOs.
Thank you for that. To Mr. James Abdul, I believe that the early recovery program is very new to Mindanao, but I would like to know, how did you come up with such a concept?
Yes, before that, let me just say, consistent with the program goal of peace building, any interventions at the ground will always be linked to that peace building. So early recovery is geared towards that primarily. We're looking at, because this will answer also the question of not recurring, answer the question like the recurrence of conflict. Be it disaster or man-made conflict. So we take that into considerations. So early recovery would look into that primarily, and it will also serve as a transition phase from what Carly was saying, that relief phase to a more sustainable long-term development for the IDPs.
Okay, so how early is the early recovery program?
Actually, before we go into that, let me just describe the process to get into that. Early recovery would really involve participation of the IDPs. So when we look at the question of the root causes of conflict, because this is really preventing it, the people will be, primarily the IDPs, will be, and all stakeholders will be involved in
the
analyzing the root cause of the problem and planning and giving solutions into that. And we have to undergo post-conflict needs analysis, and this will be inputted by the IDPs themselves. And the stakeholders, particularly the local government units, will also be really the key actors here. Will be involved, like in Munay, they have actually undergone a process of looking at their vision, mission, goal in forming their interventions for the whole of 26 barangays of Munay. And they realize when they look at the problems, they realize that the local government unit is actually lacking in providing services to the IDPs.
Yeah.
And the questions of law and order, the questions of security, and the questions of livelihood when the IDPs will go back to their barangays.
Okay, for Mr. Carlo, because there is a need for the community to participate in order for them to have the ownership of whatever program that will be implemented in the area. So far, in your area in North Cotabato, what is the reception of the IDPs?
Going back to the discussion from the gap from emergency response to rehabilitation, the first question would be, if this continues, the people living in the evacuation center, the question would be, can these people or even the resources sustain the needs of these IDPs? No?
Yeah.
So that's primarily that put the program to rethink of other strategy to which the main objective is how to restore the dignity and pride of the evacuees
and their confidence as well.
Confidence, yes. Before we talk of going back to the respective places of origin and talk about rehabilitation and development in these areas.
So, have you been so far successful in trying to convince the community and other stakeholders to cooperate in order for them to come up with a very good planning for the IDPs?
Yeah, for instance, the call in the early recovery is really convergence of efforts. No? And we have managed actually to even introduce the concept to RDCC, all the line agencies, because the concept is also new to them. This is the first time here in Mindanao to be implemented.